This is a video of paddling the 9800 South to 6400 South section of the Jordan River in the Salt Lake Valley of Utah. The Jordan River Commission's online Jordan River water trail map shows recommended sections of the river in blue and the sections they advise you should avoid in red. Obviously, most casual recreational paddlers should stick with the blue sections recommended on the map. This section of the river isn't marked with either color. That's because this section has a couple of moderate water hazards you need to portage around, but if you take a little time to familiarize yourself with them, then this is an enjoyable section of the river to paddle. You can see what the hazards in this section are on the Jordan River Commission's online Jordan River water trail map, and then you can scout out and familiarize yourself with those hazards from the paved Jordan River Parkway Trail before you paddle this section. Or you can also do your first paddle of this section with someone who already knows it. The four key hazards you need to be familiar with in this river section are the North Jordan Canal Diversion Dam at 9400 South, the Small Rapid at 8800 South, the 7600 South Perimeter Trail Bridge Rapid, and the Winchester Park Rapids at 6400 South. The first hazard is the North Jordan Canal Diversion Dam at 9400 South. This dam has two cement structures that let some water into the two channels for the Jordan River while diverting a lot of the water into the North Jordan Canal. There is a dirt island between the two cement structures. Obviously, it is important to not paddle too close to either of the two dangerous cement structures, as you don't want to get sucked into the dam. But there is nothing in the river here to prevent boaters from paddling too close to the dangerous dam structures. So it is up to boaters to have the knowledge and common sense to not paddle too close to them. The Jordan River Commission's online Jordan River water trail map advises you to portage well in advance of the dam. There is a sign spot before the dam on River Right where you should get out and portage. When we did this paddle in 2020, the takeout and put-in points for this portage were unimproved riverbanks. However, Salt Lake County is planning to put in some nice cement boat ramps soon for the takeout and put-ins for this portage that should be similar to the boat ramp at the Riverside Trailhead at 1835 North Redwood Road. Don't mistake the North Jordan Canal for the river and paddle down it, as it also has some dangerous structures. The next obstacle we will need to be aware of is a small rocky rapid at 8800 South. You can usually just paddle right through it if you don't mind scraping or bumping into some rocks. Or if you prefer, you can easily stand up and walk your boat in the shallow river water near the riverbank. That rapid marks the southeast corner of the Big Bend restoration area that was being worked on when this video was made in 2020. The Big Bend Habitat Restoration Project is restoring some habitat for birds and animals in this area, while also adding a fishing pond and some walkways for recreational users as well. It looks like there will soon be some new boulder weirs built into the river here, and a new river channel added as well, so navigating this area will be changing a bit in the near future. The next obstacle we need to be aware of is the Perimeter Trail Bridge Rapid at about 7600 South. It's a rocky man-made rapid, and whoever built it didn't leave an open channel for boaters, so as of 2020 it doesn't have a good line for paddlers to paddle down it. The online Jordan River water trail map suggests you portage around it, but as of 2020 there aren't yet any riverbank signs warning boaters about it, nor advising them of how and where to portage around it. But a visual cue you can use to know you are approaching it is that there is a little structure shortly before it on river left for a picnic table that overlooks the river, so when you see that you will know you can get out just before the Perimeter Trail pedestrian bridge to portage around the rapid. There is a gentle riverbank on River Right just before the Perimeter Trail bridge that is a good place to get out of the river. On this paddle we portage just a little north of the rapid on the Perimeter Trail. Then we bushwhack back to the river to put in just a little past the rapid. But when I scouted this from the paved Jordan River Parkway Trail, there was also a little dirt path from the Jordan River Parkway Trail to the thin channel between the trail and the small island there, so I also wondered if some boaters used that spot to put back into the river as well. The last set of rapids we need to be aware of is the Winchester Park Rapids at about 6400 South. There used to be a very dangerous drop in the river there, but after a couple drowned there, 4 smaller man-made rapids were built in 2015 to replace the dangerous drop so that paddlers could safely paddle down the middle of them if they would like. The new man-made rapids do have enough of a drop that if you are in an unskirted sit-inside kayak, you'll probably get water in your kayak when you go down them. The online Jordan River Water Trail map currently describes the man-made rapids as the equivalent of a blue intermediate run at a ski resort that you can choose to either paddle or portage around. There are still signs on the Winchester Street Bridge before those rapids warning paddlers not to proceed there, but I think those signs were made before the dangerous drop was replaced by the 4 smaller rapids. If you want to portage around them, you can get out of the river on river left under the power lines just before the Winchester Street Bridge. There is also a line of rocks in the river there that mark the spot as well. You can then portage into Winchester Park to either wrap up your paddle there or to put back into the river just after the rapids. Since this was my first paddle of this section, I took advantage of one of the September Get to the River Festival paddles led by the Jordan River Commission that showed how to navigate this section. We will start this 4.9-mile paddle at the Shields Lane Trailhead Park at about 9800 South in South Jordan. Here we are approaching the North Jordan Canal Diversion Dam at 9400 South. We need to be careful to not paddle too close to either of the diversion dam gates and get sucked into those dangerous structures. So we will look for the signed area on River Right to get out and portage past the dam. Here's the natural bank takeout as of 2020, but hopefully Salt Lake County's plan to put in cement boat ramps here for paddlers will come to fruition soon. We'll portage around the dam and then put back into the river on the other side of it. I turned my camera on late, but here is the picnic table structure on River Left shortly before the 7600 South Perimeter Trail Bridge rapid. So we will get out in front of the Perimeter Trail pedestrian bridge on River Right to portage around that rapid. Here's the view of the rapids from the Perimeter Trail Bridge. Here is where we will put back into the river today, just on the downriver side of these two boulders. And here's the view of the picnic table structure from the bridge. We'll portage just a little ways on the Perimeter Trail past the rapids, and then bushwhack back down to the river. Somehow my camera lens got dirty during this portage, so I apologize for the rest of the footage being blurry. Here's the 70th South Bridge. There is a boat access point here at the Triumph Trailhead across from a rocky culvert and ditch. If you got out here, this would be a 4.4 mile paddle rather than a 4.9 mile paddle, but this trailhead is basically just a parking lot, while Winchester Park is a beautiful green park. Here are the large power lines before the Winchester Street Bridge, with a riverbank sign advising you to get out of the river here. The Winchester Street Bridge also has the same warning signs on it. But I think these signs were installed before the deadly drop and hydraulic here were replaced in 2015 with 4 smaller man-made rapids. So if you are comfortable and able to paddle through the roughly Class 2 rapids here, you can continue paddling through them if you would like. But for our recreational paddle today, we'll get out here, then portage our boats along the Jordan River Parkway Trail into Winchester Park and wrap up our float. The takeout area is a natural riverbank area underneath the power lines on River Left, with a row of diagonal rocks in front of it.